7 and 9. I want you to just sit with those numbers for a second. These weren't the ages of seasoned warriors or battle-hardened soldiers. 7 and 9. Those were the ages of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's youngest sons, the Chota Sahibzade. Following the recent fall of their two older brothers in battle, these youngest two were ruthlessly martyred by the Mughal governor Wazir Khan. This completed the completely devastating loss of all four Sahibzade. It's a heavy, deeply dark realization. But it is the exact emotional stage that sets up one of the most incredible, awe-inspiring responses to tyranny in recorded history.
The rise of Banda Singh Bahadur, from tragedy to justice. We are transitioning from a period of profound darkness straight into a legendary quest for righteous retribution. This is a story of unwavering faith, immense courage, and the complete dismantling of a deeply corrupt empire.
To truly understand the absolute fire behind this uprising, we kind of have to look at the catalyst, right? The unforgivable atrocity committed by Wazir Khan and Survin. The two young Sahibzade were captured and subjected to immense psychological pressure. And when they steadfastly refused to abandon their faith and submit to oppression, they were ripped alive. It's a level of cruelty that just shocks the conscience. It wasn't just a political execution. It was a devastating moral crime, one that left a deep, open wound in the hearts of people.
Section 1. The Awakening in Nanda. We're shifting our narrative far south to the banks of the Decoded, where a serendipitous meeting is about to completely alter the course of history. Here we meet Madhav Das. He was an ascetic who had totally secluded himself in meditation, relying on mystical powers. But when Guru Gobind Singh Ji arrives at his ashram, everything changes. Madhav Das actually tries to use his powers, but they are utterly ineffective against the Guru's divine presence. In this moment of profound realization, the ascetic's ego just crumbles. He recognizes the Guru's true spiritual authority, surrenders his former identity entirely, and declares, "I am your Banda," literally meaning your humble servant or slave.
And the Guru's response to this total surrender is just incredible. He doesn't tell Madhav Das to go back to the woods and keep meditating. Instead, Guru Gobind Singh Ji commands him, "Then become a brave soldier and fight for the oppressed." That single command officially transforms the ascetic Madhav Das into the legendary Banda Singh Bahadur. He's awakened from a life of passive detachment and granted this divine, urgent mission to actively root out evil and protect the defenseless.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the precise, spiritually charged resources Banda was given for this monumental task. I mean, he wasn't handed a massive army, he wasn't given a treasury full of gold. He was given 5 arrows from the Guru's very own quiver as a symbol of authority and spiritual backing. He received a nagara, a battle drum, to awaken and rally the masses. He was accompanied by 5 devoted Singhs, including incredibly experienced warriors like Bano Singh and Baj Singh, to provide strategic guidance. And crucially, he was bound by a strict code of conduct and morality. It really highlights the asymmetrical nature of this mission. You have a spiritually guided warrior heading out to challenge a massive, entrenched empire.
So, tracing his strategic route across the Indian subcontinent, Banda Singh Bahadur starts down in Nanded, crosses the Godavari, pushes upwards across the Narmada, and navigates the Ganga and Yamuna rivers. But you have to remember, this wasn't just a geographical journey, it was a massive movement. Along the way, he wasn't out there hiring mercenaries. He was gathering a fierce army of oppressed farmers, laborers, and localized warriors who had been absolutely crushed under the empire's weight. By the time he reached Punjab, his force was heavily fueled by a shared, burning desire for justice.
Section 2. The Gathering Storm. Upon his arrival in Punjab, the momentum shifts rapidly as he begins systematically dismantling the oppressive strongholds that had terrorized the local populations for decades.
He kicks things off with some crucial tactical victories. Towns like Samana, Kapuri, and Setahara, places absolutely notorious for their cruel tyrants and corrupt officials, fall to the Khalsa. And these initial victories were monumental. They didn't just serve as strategic military wins, they literally liberated the locals from daily terror. It built this immense sense of hope and confidence before the ultimate showdown that everyone knew was coming.
Section 3. Justice at Sirhind, the Battle of Chapar-Chiri. This is it. This is where Banda Singh Bahadur finally comes face to face with the architect of the tragedy, Wazir Khan.
Over 20,000. That is the conservative estimate of Wazir Khan's heavily equipped imperial army. Let that sink in for a second. We are talking about a massive asymmetry on the battlefield. Wazir Khan had professional mercenaries, thousands of cavalry, artillery, and war elephants. He represented the absolute peak of the establishment's military might, and he was deeply confident that this ragtag rebellion was going to be crushed underfoot without a second thought.
This perfectly illustrates the stark contrast we're looking at. On one side, you have Wazir Khan's imperial machine, heavily armed, equipped with cannons, fighting for a paycheck and to preserve their power. On the other side, you have Banda Singh Bahadur's army, oppressed farmers, everyday people. They were fueled not by superior weaponry but purely by faith, by immense grief for those martyred children, and by the Guru's blessing. It is the classic battle of material might against a righteous, emotionally driven uprising. In the intense, totally chaotic clash at Chapar-Chiri, faith and fury actually win out. The battle reaches this intense catharsis when the imperial lines finally break. And it is here that Wazir Khan is defeated. Bhai Fateh Singh engages him directly and beheads the tyrant. In that exact moment, the fall of tyranny is realized. Justice, definitive and absolute, is finally served for the younger Sahibzade. The oppressor who thought he was untouchable is brought down by the very people he spent his life trying to crush.
Section 4, a lasting Khalsa legacy. Because, this victory wasn't merely about retribution. It was about establishing a fundamentally just society. Banda Singh Bahadur knew that removing a tyrant means absolutely nothing if you don't change the system that empowered him in the first place. So the really crucial point is his immediate action following the victory. Look at how he transformed the land. Under the old regime, you had the highly oppressive zamindari system. Elite landlords kept farmers in generational debt, extracting their labor while leaving them in total misery. Under the new Khalsa rule, Banda Singh Bahadur does something radical for his time. He abolishes zamindari completely. He declares that the tillers, the everyday people actually working the soil, are the true rightful owners of the land. He literally inverted the entire socio-economic landscape of Punjab.
This is the profound legacy we really have to understand. Banda Singh Bahadur established the first sovereign Khalsa rule. But notice what he didn't do. He didn't mint coins in his own name. He minted them in the names of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He honored his spiritual masters through equitable governance rather than seeking his own personal glory. He ended the tyranny for the common working people, and in doing so, he planted the very seeds and set the groundwork for what would eventually become Maharaja Ranjit Singh's great empire a whole century later.
So, we end with this. When absolute tyranny shatters the innocent, what is the true cost of righteous justice? The sacrifices made by the Sahibzade, by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and by Banda Singh Bahadur and his army, they were immeasurable. It took unparalleled courage and an unwavering faith to uproot deep evil and establish enduring freedom. It really makes you think about what it takes to not just fight the darkness, but to actually replace it with light.